Hi, and welcome to the Blue Screen Brothers YouTube channel. Today I have Alexander with me. Hello, Alexander.
Hi, Olav. How are you today?
I'm fine. You know, it's a brand new year, but we usually don't have brand new problems, but we have a lot of the old problems, right?
Yeah, it's the same procedure as last year, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was just thinking that maybe we should start this year off by showing something easy but helpful. So instead of deep diving into something in Azure, we are going to do something in Windows this time.
Yes, we would like to show some simple tools that really helps out a lot of IT professional and service desk personnel without having to spend hours on learning the tools.
Yeah, and that would be nice, right? Because sometimes taking a phone and trying to describe something to people is hard. So you cannot see the screen, and maybe you don't have a screen sharing program, so you will not be able to see the screen. But if you saw what the user was doing, you could solve the problem in 2 minutes, right? Instead of using 30 minutes on the phone trying to explain something and nobody understands the way you are thinking and so on. So we have some built-in tools in Windows for this, so you don't have to install anything as long as you have. Is it Windows 7 or something like that and upwards?
It's Windows Vista.
Windows Vista and upwards, yeah. So for
Yes.
everybody with Windows Vista out there, this is for you, right? Our test environment are a little bit special because we are using Windows Sandbox instead of installation of Windows. So we don't have the step recorder step recorder built in. So if we try to just type in SPR, it will know SPR, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it will not find anything. No,
PSR, problem steps
PSR,
recorder. Yeah.
problem steps recorded. The problem is already here, right?
Yeah.
So you can see that we are getting the PSR run command, and that's because we have copied into our system32 folder from our running operating system. So usually it would now say problem step recorder. But for us, it's just show PSR instead of the full name of the service. So this should be installed in all languages, and it will work with PSR in all languages, at least in Norwegian. But it's something like problem step recorder you will search for. So if we just start it up, we get a small recorder up here. We can see it. Let's just show close.
And it's really few buttons. You can start recording and you can go to settings.
Yeah, you have only two options in the beginning. So with the settings, you can set where you want to put the output files, screen capturing, number of recent screen captures to store, and it's easy to do the setting as well. But for the user, you just start the steps recorder, nothing else, and you tell them to start recording and do what they are doing to get the problem up and showing. So let's, for instance, we don't have any problems right now, Alexander, right? Everything is smooth and sweet because it's a brand new year.
Yeah, we solved all the problems last year.
Yeah, so, but let's just say that we want to create a short instruction on how to change the search engine in Edge, for instance.
Yes, so, because you can use the same tool for multiple scenarios.
Yeah. So we are starting up Edge, and the recorder are going. So we are just going to go into settings, like that, and into privacy search and services. Browse down and find the address bar and search. It's funny how far they can hide the change search engine. So, but it's in here, and we have the search engine used in address bar. That's Bing, always recommended. But let us do something that's not recommended. Let's use Google. And then we have changes to Google, and we can also go into manage search engine and add custom search engine, delete engine, and whatever you want to do. And you can also see that the engine list will increase when you are using pages that have search functions, then it will increase. So that's a nice way. So, but that was what we were planning to do, just going and so show how we change the search settings. So it's just a stop and review. And what we got here, Alexander?
So one of the things that I like about the PSR is that it gives you a detailed overview of both the operating system, the application version, a lot of the specifications that are containerized around things that you click on, as well as screenshots. Yeah. So if you navigate down on that report that was generated, you can see if you increase that first picture there, the very, very first one
this
up.
One? Or you want this one?
Yeah. There you can see that there are some
I have
green...
zoomed in, so it's a bit big.
Yeah, it zooms in. Yep. It does like it should. If you scroll down, you can see that it's green around the area where you clicked. So it's easy to follow the user's interaction so that you don't have to ask the user, what did you click on? Because it both visualizes it, and on the line below, it says that user left clicked on Microsoft Edge, and so everything is made on in the outlined. So
and even if you are going to edit something before you send it, you can use the add comments. So you can actually add more information before you send it to support people. So we started settings. The next thing is we started the settings tab. User left clicked on settings and more menu bar in Blue Screen Brothers YouTube profile. So it even shows the page we are visiting when we are getting the trouble.
Yes. So this is a very useful tool in pretty much every way, because you both get the description of the problem as well as the version of application that you're using.
And here we can see details of the settings menu. You can even see the mouse pointer is on the settings. And this is the settings page, and we are pushing on the privacy search and services. So this is actually a way of documenting the process. So like I told you, if you're going to write a guide, we now have the pictures to write a guide on how to do this. You can copy and paste the pictures you need.
And the interesting thing with the PSR is that it saves the file as a web page, as a single web page. So you could either upload that to your personal inventory and just have publish this as a guide, or you can export all the pictures, because you can export it as a zip file so that you can extract only the pictures.
Yeah. So we can still see user mouse dragged start in settings and where we was pushing all the way. It's detailed description. It's not a video recording, but you have tools built in for video recordings. At some time, it's better with a video to show everything if you do something weird. But basically, you have every movement, every click, but you cannot see if there are something else going on behind the screens. So.
And this was a tool that I used late last year, year of 2022, to solve a real case problem. The issue there was that a user was running an insider build, a preview version of Windows 11, and he couldn't right-click on my computer, recycling bin. There were a lot of icons there you could not right-click on, and it was really hard to figure out the problem. And
did you record it?
Of course we did. It is in Norwegian, but this is a real life scenario. So this is not something that we kind of made up, because the problem is too silly to be made up. So the problem was, as you can see, we tried to right click. You do it on the middle of the screen, you get the right click toolbar, but once you right click on the recycling bin, nothing happens. So now you can see we are right-clicking, and you can see the mouse is actually right-clicking, but the menu won't pop up. So we stop and review, and we see that the reviewer tries to right-click on the widget. So the mini-programmer is the Microsoft widget. So the problem here was that it tried to open an application that was hanging. So the widget application was frozen in Windows, but it did appear somewhat transparent in front of the desktop.
Yeah, because we could see that there was this green line around something, but you didn't see anything. So it was it was hiding what's there, but the step recorder could actually see it because it was an application and an application window.
Yes, and this, if we're not fortunate enough to open this one, but we could. No, it don't want us to. So the fun thing about that widget bug is that you can see how I really don't want to open it in Sandbox. It's another time for the PSR to run, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you take this tool and you start to dig down, you get an outline where you can see that the application is being clicked on, and it doesn't work.
Yeah. So all the information is there, and you can actually read it. So that's a nice way of either you see the pictures, or you can go down to additional details and see every bit by bit what's it trying to do. So yeah.
And for some reason, we need to start troubleshooting the Sandbox because it won't let me run anything in Edge for the latest couple of versions of Windows. So that could be a podcast for another time.
That's an inside the bug, I guess, because you are getting it. So, but I saw it on my machine as well. But it seems to be related to that we are trying to do something weird in the system 32 to get the PSR to run. So it might be some protection mechanism and stopping Edge from running because we have corrupted something. But let's dig into that for another session. So yeah. But it's a nice tool. So the problem step recorder is something you should be aware of, and there will be use cases for sure. Even if you just want your grandma to try to explain what she's doing, just make her record it. So, but the snipping tool video feature is also a nice add-on to make sure that you can film the entire process. But then you have a bigger file if you're doing larger recordings, but the step recorder are a smaller picture by picture HTML file, and it zips it down for you when we are going into the save. So that's an easier way to work around it.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, a lot of people were trying to tell you, have you read the log file? Have you tried to see how the system event viewer is behaving? And way too often I find the problem being much more visualized in PSR.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for this session, Alexander.
Thanks for having me, Olav.
See you next time.
See you around.